We've come a long way from the industrial setting of Leicester and information systems for British Rail to the mellow surroundings of Bath. But in this programme, we are carrying on with the same fundamental message, the necessity for quality assurance. We've come to Bath to visit a software house that is already approved to BS 5750, Praxis Systems. Their managing director, Martin Thomas, explains what Praxis call their quality culture.
Quality is very important in the computer industry. Computer systems are fundamental to the operation of many companies. If they go wrong, companies can lose a lot of money, a lot of time, which can mean a lot of market share. In certain applications, human lives are at risk if computer systems fail. So quality is of paramount importance right across the computer industry. That means that for a software development company, a professional software engineering company, to be successful, it must be founded on a solid appreciation of the importance of quality. As in any engineering discipline, you can't put quality in as an extra. You can't add it after the event. It's got to be built into the development process. And that means that we need to build a quality culture throughout the company so that everybody at every stage in the work they're doing is focusing on the importance of building quality into the products that they're developing, into the services that they're providing.
There was an element of fiction in our previous programme, although Jasmine Electronics was real enough, and so was their attitude to quality. But for this programme, we wanted to take a look at quality assurance in action. So we came to Praxis, a company who have been living QA for 3 years now. We wanted to know what QA looked like in practice, and we chose to do it through the eyes of the man most concerned, Quality Director Chris Miller. We're going to follow Chris through a typical working week, eavesdropping in the places where the execution of QA shows up in Praxis' approach to quality. It's Monday morning.
I'm the Praxis Quality Director, which means at board level I have responsibility for the complete quality system. And complete quality system we mean to be all activities within the company. We believe it's very important that all activities come under the remit of one complete system, which is why a year ago we submitted ourselves for BSI assessment against BS 5750. Morning, Ruth.
Morning, Chris.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good weekend?
Yes, fine.
Any moment, with me, please?
Nothing on reception, but it'll all be in your pigeonhole.
Fine.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.
So if we can just go through the diary for this week, Joe, please.
Okay.
12:30 today is the NEA presentation. My job entails going to lots of reviews and lots of meetings. About this time on Mondays, I used to go to a meeting with the projects director to review progress on individual projects. But the reports from those meetings are now so detailed, I rely on them and use my time to prepare the diary for the week ahead with Joe, my secretary. The presentation. And Friday, if we could get together at 9:30 with Phil to do the milestones, please. I make a point of going out and walking around the offices to see what the software engineers are doing, to talk to them, to make myself available. How's the P87 schedule coming along?
Well, I had a meeting with Phil yesterday where we did the initial parts of it.
I think it's very important that people in quality assurance set up no barriers between themselves and the software engineers who are doing the work. I want to be available. I want to be seen to be there, helping, encouraging them to produce the kind of work that they want to produce. Let me know if you have any problems in the meanwhile. Thanks very much.
Chris, you haven't forgotten about my presentation review at 12:30, have you? I've laid lunch on.
Thanks, Claire. How could I refuse?
Super. See you later.
See you. Bye.
This review, although it's of a presentation by business manager Claire Lefebvre, is still important. Presentations are also subject to QA, and Chris needs to be there.
We have been asked by the Northern Examining Association to build them a system which will support all the things they do to produce the GCSE exams in May '88. So there is an enormous amount of processing work involved, and one of the problems from the system point of view is that the processing is linked to the examination timetable, and it gives us two enormous peaks of processing. One, as I said, at the entry data stage, which is going to be approximately in January, February, March '88, and then another enormous peak when the marks come in the summer '88, which we will then have to process, turn around and get out in the form of grades in time for the government selected date of issue of grades. So that's one of the major problems that we're facing with this system is the timetabling, the scheduling of it. One of the other problems that we are concerned to address is...
Everyone at Praxis is involved in the quality system.
It's clearly going to be extremely
So
embarrassing.
after her presentation, we asked Claire about the implications for the NEA project.
Reporting and reviewing is a thing that we do all the time. We do it on all our projects. On an easy project with a long time scale and no problems, it's no problem to review. It becomes harder, of course, and the temptation gets greater to slip things when the pressure is on and when the timescales are tight. And that's exactly when we should be even more careful to make sure that the reviews are implemented properly and that the reporting procedures are maintained. There is no doubt in my mind that the harder a project is to do, the more important quality assurance is.
It's by now Monday afternoon.
Here you are, Chris. I'll set the conference room up in the morning.
Thanks very much, Jane.
Chris will have to spend the rest of the day working on a client presentation he himself is making on Thursday. Today is induction day. At Praxis, the induction course is not just a briefing for new staff, it gets the quality message across right from the beginning.
I want people to walk in and come and have a joke and find out what's going on and say, I've got a problem here, what am I going to do about it? And things like that. What I want to talk about now is I suppose the principal quality control that we use within Praxis, and that is the formal review mechanism. It's a meeting, really, a minuted meeting between people who are taking roles, who are looking at an object, a deliverable piece of software, a document, with a particular aim in mind of looking at it principally for errors and to improve the general quality of it. There are a number of points during a project where we want to make absolutely sure that a principal, major deliverable is being reviewed. And these are key review points within a project.
But Chris, what happens if a project is behind schedule and in danger of missing a milestone? Wouldn't a review have to be missed in that case?
Well, in the slightly artificial world of this presentation, I would say that the top-level view has to be that you miss the milestone and that you go ahead with the formal review. If it was important enough to milestone as a formal review, it's important enough to maintain the formal review and slip the milestone.
This induction course, although important, is only a small part of Chris's work. Tomorrow we'll meet a key part of QA, Praxis style, the project schedule.
People who quotes through QA. Project schedule is important because it's a precise, concise agreement between the project manager, the business manager, and myself as to the actions that the project are going to be taking. It acts as their detailed terms of reference for what they're trying to achieve. And it documents a set of quality controls which, importantly, are built into the fabric of the project. In other words, it is not possible to conduct the project without executing the quality controls that we've agreed.
Now let's see a formal review of a project schedule in action. And we'll see later this week how a project schedule can be used in a quality audit.
Fine, we're about to review Document reference P79.1.1, draft 0.1. Alan, if you could take the user view for the purposes of this review, please. George, obviously as presenter, please. And Claire, if you could take the maintainer's role for the purposes of this review. That'd be great. Thanks very much.
Perhaps I could put you in the picture, Chris, about what this schedule is about. This is the first time this client has come out to a software engineering company for a complete implementation project. They've used contractors up till now, and they want to see how well it works for them when they put a complete development project out. So this is a small development for them that they're going to try with their foot in the water for the first time.
George, the only substantive question I have is this business about the phasing between phase 1 and phase 2, where we have some criteria to meet. Can you just explain that a little bit, please?
Yes, the client's requirements weren't very clear when we started the project, and we felt it was better to go to the end of the requirements phase with this schedule, and then when it was clear how the development would proceed from that, then to update the schedule to take us through the development phases and any subsequent phases.
Right. You're happy that the client is happy?
Well, yes, I think they're not.
Chris puts together the review report during the meeting. The project manager then takes the report away and completes the actions before returning it to Chris to be signed off.
Move on to the next one.
From your point of view, Claire, does that give you any problems in this phasing?
Not at the moment, or it might give me problems with staffing for the subsequent phases. So I'm quite happy with this the way it is for now.
Alan, are you happy that the criteria for moving from one phase to the next are clear? You understand?
Yes, I think that does fit in with where we've got to at the moment.
So, George, when do you think you'll be able to get the formal review report back to me, please?
I think I'll be able to do that by Friday, all right?
Friday morning?
I'll try.
Good, thanks.
Chris's day starts with a quality audit. This is a mechanism to spot check on projects to make sure that the agreed quality controls are being implemented and that things aren't being forgotten.
Fine. Let's start by looking at the schedule, if that's all right.
The files are evidence of what has been done. The project schedule will be used to check what should have been done. The project manager, Bruce Elliott, has already outlined his project's current status.
Please, and the review report for the plan.
Sure, got those ready. And there's the plan.
Thank you. And the review report for it, please. Thanks. So this was about a month and a half ago now. Yes, completed all right. Actions all completed.
What does Chris think the project manager gets out of this process of formal review? Isn't there a sense of being investigated?
Okay. I think the way I do it is to base it very much on the project schedule. We use that as basis for walking through the audit to see whether they have done what they said they were going to do. I think the project manager gets reassurance that I see and he sees that what they have been doing has been along the lines that they originally set out and was agreed with me and their business manager. From my point of view, I enjoy auditing the least of all the things that I do. That's because it takes on too much the role of being a policeman, of checking after the event. And to me, that's too late. If I've been doing my job properly and talking to people, making myself available to help solve problems, going out and talking to them, we really shouldn't be needing audits to find problems. The quality system itself should be finding them. We use it as a backstop, but I must admit it's the part I like least.
We're going to leave Chris alone for the rest of the day. He's off to visit a potential client to give the quality presentation he prepared earlier in the week.
Get down to the review, okay?
Friday morning, first thing, is a good time for reviewing progress within the quality system itself.
And do.
The same rules apply to Chris and his team as to the rest of the company.
The reviewing guidelines standard, Phil, can you tell me what's happening about that, please?
We had the initial review, and the actions outstanding from that weren't complete because we had revisions which were dependent on the revisions to the standard you'd done. So that was held up. That's been circulated now, and we're waiting for comment back before we have the formal re-review of that.
So you've got comments outstanding on the review guidelines?
That's right.
I think that's worth chasing this week if you can. Joe, if you could just take a note to talk to George about that. We ought to get some reaction to that this week so we can get that reissued. Okay.
While this is happening, there's yet another review taking place, this time for the Northern Examining Association project. It's one of the regular reviews between Jim Wilson, the project manager, and Claire, the business manager for the area.
The slippage that we mentioned last week in terms of the delivery of the hardware to one of the NEA sites,
Yes.
it's got worse. Last week we reported that we had a problem, but we were going to try and take some remedial action in getting earlier delivery. We have not succeeded.
I see. So that means that we've got a further slippage. How many weeks?
2 more, which makes
Two
it
more.
4 in all.
So that's from week 18 to week 22.
Yes.
Well, there's 2 things. One is, can we do anything from our end of it to influence this delivery? Is there anything that I can do, do you think, to lean on the manufacturers? And secondly, what impact has that got on the software delivery schedules?
The same kind of review has taken place for Tim Huckfield, another business manager, and out of this has come a problem.
Problem with P87,
Yes.
final report.
Yep.
The point is we've slipped a little bit on producing the final draft, and we're not going to have time to do the review this week as we thought we would. The problem chiefly with it is that the client is now screaming down the phone saying he's having a meeting with his senior management next week and he needs it straight away.
Okay, can I suggest we phone them today, find out what it is they want from the final report, and then either phone it to them or fax it to them today. We delay the milestone, but we tell them we are delaying the milestone, and then we review the report next week and send them the final report at the end of next week. But we tell them all the way along the line that that's what we're doing.
It's now late Friday afternoon. Over this week, we've tried to give a flavour of what's involved in Chris's job as quality director. We asked Chris to sum up what he thinks his work is all about.
Quality assurance, I think, is interactive, it's consultative. It's helping to resolve issues rather than trying to help solve problems. I think it's being available with advice and help from the quality system to give support to the software engineers to allow them to do their job more cost effectively.
Let's look at the declaration part. It corresponds to the data table that we've been building up. These are the data items with one constant and several variables. If we just leave out the description of each item, what we get is almost exactly the definition of the Pascal program. So here are declarations. First, for the constant limit, with its value written in here once and for all. Whenever limit appears in the program, it will always be equal to 100. Then come the variables, the keyword var, and then identifier of each the declarations part of the program. Now let's look at the action part. There will be some more to go into it, but as we haven't done the design for that yet, let's move on to the piece of design we have sorting the score. This is the Pascal version of our design. And because we went through the top-down design procedure, the structure of the Pascal is the same as the structure of our final refinement. There's an outer while loop, which extends from this begin to this end. And here's the inner loop, for loop, which controls just a single if-then statement. So when we reach the final stage of refinement, we already had the structure of the Pascal program. We just have to translate line by line into the special words used by Pascal. For example, set marker to 1, that becomes marker takes the value 1. Group while marker left inside, that becomes while marker left inside do. And the translation in Pascal matches the design practically line by line, all the way down. Set temporary variables to score and marker, that becomes temp takes the value, score and marker. And that's that, our Pascal program. There are still the read and write pieces of the program, designed and translated, but let's assume that's been done. And the program is finished. All that remains is the test.
The program in the computer. Let's see what happens when we try it out. I'll run the program and enter some numbers. It seems to work. The numbers come out in order.